What's up gamers, how you doing? It's John. In this video I'm going to review the new GameForce Handheld by Qi. This came out recently. It's an open source handheld with using emulation, more specifically EmuELEC, which is a great front end theme, which I've mentioned before, and it's a great community within the emulation community. I want to say a big thank you to my friend Kirk, aka Cubert Addict 1 here on YouTube, for introducing me to this handheld and helping me set it up. So thank you, Kirk, for that. I'll put a link to his channel below. But without any further ado, let's take a closer look at this handheld itself, show you some features, go from there. Thanks for watching. Okay, here's what it comes with. It does come, obviously, get the system itself. It does come with a nice carrying case, which was a huge bonus. I was not expecting this. And the carrying case is a great size. You can carry it anywhere, and it protects us really well. It comes with a nice cloth to wipe down the screen. Instructions, it also comes with a USB-C cable to charge it. Charging time, to be honest, I'm not quite sure. It does charge well, however, I've had some issues with the indicator show me if it's fully charged or not. It will show it's charging, but it won't show that it's fully charged until much later. I borrowed my friend Kirk's GameForce, same thing happened to him. So it might be my cable that's the issue. I'm not seeing the system. It could be the system, but I'm not saying, I don't know for sure. So just FYI. It does come in 3 different colors. It's available obviously in orange. It has green and tan is the color available. The retail value for this is 95 US dollars plus about 15 US dollars shipping for international shipping, which I think is a pretty decent price. The Odroid Go Super, unfortunately I don't have mine to compare the sizes. Kirk is borrowing it to upgrade my Odroid Go Super. However, that retails for 80 US dollars, and it's much wider. It's about the size of a Switch Lite, maybe a little smaller than a Switch Lite. And the screen on the Odroid Go Super is actually 5 inches, where this is a 3.5 inch. But I actually prefer the screen size of this. This actually reminds me of the original Game Boy Advance, the original Nintendo Game Boy Advance. It reminds me of the size. And the screen aspect ratio is 4:3, where the Odroid Go Super is wider, so you get some black spaces on each side. Unless you're playing vertically with the Odroid Go Super, like games like Vectrix or Wonder Swan, the games look much better, where on this, they don't look as good if you're playing it flipped like this, okay? Button-wise, I actually love the feel for the D-pad. I love the button feel as well. You got the two shoulder buttons here, 2 sets. This is your home button. This is your start, your select, your 1 and 2 option. There's no volume, right? You'll notice that's all done through the menu. I'll show you how that's done in a second. You have your on button here, your power button. You can also put it to sleep. I'll show you how to shut it down properly. Dual stereo, which the Odroid Go Super does not have that. That's another benefit of this. And the speakers are really loud for a handheld. It's pretty crazy. Another thing, it does come with a speaker headphone jack, USB-C cable right here, plugs in there to charge it. There is no HDMI out, unfortunately. The Odroid Go Super doesn't have HDMI out either, so you cannot hook this up to your TV, which I guess they assume if you're on the go, you're not necessarily need a TV, but it would be a nice feature. I'm sure it's a little bit more expensive to build them that way. Here is where the mini SD card will go into. They do have an option when you purchase it to purchase a 128 gig. I purchased a 512 gig. I think this is the most you can get right now. Be careful getting SD cards though, guys. I've noticed that there's a lot of corrupt ones out there. I've tried Amazon, Walmart, and I've gone through a lot of them because a lot of them have been corrupt. I'm not sure if it's an issue with China or what's going on with production, but I've had a lot of issues. So FYI, be careful what SD cards you have. If you do get them from Amazon, they do have a good return policy, so that's good. Also make sure when you put in these SD cards in, make sure you put them in correctly. Twice now I put this in and I put them in the wrong slot and they get actually slid into the system itself. If that does happen, the nice thing though is it does have Phillips screws here, so you don't need any special, there's no proprietary screw, which is nice. Since the system is very easy to open up and it's at the board, so that's a nice benefit as well. Let's go and turn this on. I do like the 2 analog sticks. Kirk replaced his with the Vita analog sticks, and I'll be honest, there's not much of a difference. The buttons themselves are much better than Odroid Go Super. They just feel the Odroid Go Super is very soft. This, you can actually, they're raised more. They feel better to the hand, and you have a nice grip here on the back as well. You can see it's run off EmuELEC, as I mentioned before, Emulation Station, and it loads super quick. I've got a ton of different emulators on here. You've got your power in the top right corner. It has built-in Wi-Fi, which the Odroid Go Super does not. The Odroid Go Super does have a USB output, which is nice. So if you want to play 2-player, you can do that. Or if they have a dongle, you can purchase separately for Wi-Fi. But the fact they have built-in Wi-Fi, huge benefit. And why is Wi-Fi important? There is no online gaming necessarily with retro games right now. I think that's getting to the point soon that we can play online together, which is going to be awesome for emulation. But right now, why it's important, because if you have retro achievements, which is a great site, and you can unlock just like trophies or achievements for retro games, which is awesome. Or if you want to update the scrape and add new images, etc., that's why Wi-Fi is important. So I have a lot of different emulators here. You have Nintendo, obviously, and it will also pop up how many games you have in each folder as well. So that's really nice. I love the layout. I love the theme that EmuELEC has done here. You got hacks, Famicom Disk System, Game Boy, original Game Boy hacks, Super Famicom, Super Nintendo hacks, Virtual Boy, N64. N64 doesn't play as well. It's a little choppy. The sound isn't great. But as I mentioned before and previous in the video, when I first started, it is always evolving. It's going to be a point where it will work really well. I just don't want to show you right now because it doesn't give the system its full justice. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, GBA hacks, Pokemon Mini ports, Open Board, which is like a fighting themed one. You got the SG-100, early Sega system, Sega Master System, Mega Drive, Genesis hacks, Game Gear. Speaking of Genesis, they just released on EmuELEC recently MSU games for the Genesis, which is awesome. I'll do a future video on that, and that's an improved audio, which is sounds better than the Sega CD, which is cool. So I'll show a video on that soon. Mega Drive, 32X, Sharp, and Neo Geo Pocket, Pocket Color, a Solaris, Game Machine, a PlayStation, all games. I think altogether is 25,000 games on here because I have a 5 gig, and I still have plenty of space left. Favorite games, you can favorite, and so a lot of this is arcade, Laserdisc, Atari 2600, 800, 5200, ST computer, 7800, Lynx. I love the Lynx, actually. It's a great handheld. WonderSwan Color, ColecoVision, very fond of that. Commodore 64, a ton of games. Amiga CD32, which never came out in North America. Well, it came out in Canada, I suppose, but never came out in the US. And then Doom and all that good stuff. So MSX, MX2, Vectrex keeps going. SuperGrafx, TurboGrafx 16, Game & Watch. You can see there's a ton. All right, I'm going to show you some features, options within the system itself. So I hit Start button. I can go to EmuELEC settings. And one really nice thing, also a feature that the system has opposed to the Odroid Go Super, is the lights can light up. So I can choose red, green, blue, white, purple, yellow, or cyan. Let's do red, for example. You see it lights up. It's very bright. Red's very bright, and it kind of comes through the particular system itself. I don't really care for that color. I can change it to green. I think it looks great. Green looks really well on orange. I also have blue. Also looks very good. White, kind of bright. Purple, doesn't look too bad. Yellow, looks more like a green to me, but I guess it's because yellow and orange. And cyan. Let's go with green, because I like the best. Okay, also let's go back. Within the settings you can turn the status LED light on or off. I can turn it off. Enable Bluetooth. So it does have Bluetooth, that's pretty cool. Let's see here, what else? Enable RA Splash, I'm not quite sure what some of these do. Always show boot video, you can turn that on. You can go to game settings. You can go to change the different options here as well, system settings. UI changes the theme. Right now I just have Crystal on it, but you can add different themes and different styles of the menu itself. Sound settings, you can turn the master volume. This is where you control the master volume. I can make music, front-end music, turn it on. I'm going to turn it off for copyright reasons because right now I have a bunch of 80s music preloaded on this thing, but you can change the music, which is awesome. Right now I have it turned off. This is where you go to network settings. You can scrape for images. You can have the option to scrape for manuals, which is awesome too. Updates and downloads, another important reason why to have Wi-Fi. System settings, this is where you go to quit, and this is how you shut down the system. Now if I were to push this on top here, this puts it to sleep. It doesn't necessarily turn off the system entirely. That's how you turn it off, just so you know. Okay, and then let's go to a game, for example. I can go back to hit select. Right now it's automatic game list, but I can change it to panel with box art. So you can see it changes that a little bit, and now I got the box art. I can also change it to panel. Let's see what that looks like. It's kind of like before. Let's go to, wrong button. carousel video. So this one's kind of tiny. I'm not a big fan of that. Get rid of the descriptions. There's no, oh, there's video right here. It kind of shows you the video if you pause. That's kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of that one though. So the point is that there's definitely options. So I'm going to go back to automatic. There's actually 56 different emulators I have on this particular handheld. Ton of games, obviously. Let me show you the PlayStation and show you how it works. Now, one also nice feature, it does have rumble, dual rumble, which is great, and that's something that original Odroid Go Super does not have. So another benefit. And so if you're playing games like Resident Evil with the DualShock, that's pretty cool. Now this particular build I have doesn't have that enabled, unfortunately, but it is something that is available. So go to PlayStation. Let's go to Resident Evil. I'm going to start, go to game settings. I'm going to do system configuration. I'm going to pick an emulator. There's 4 to choose from. I think Swan Station or Duck Station work pretty well. The other 2 don't work as well. One of them will work. It has the rumble, but it's kind of slow. So it's a trade-off. But again, work in progress. Now, if I go to the game, before I launch the game, I'm going to show you one thing real quick. Go to game settings. This is where if I wanted to add like a shader to it, I wouldn't necessarily do it here because this shader change is going to affect all the games moving forward. I'll show you how to do that within game. This is a retro achievements settings, which is great. Very cool feature. Let's go launch a game. Show you how quick it launches. Really quick. And to change the volume, hit the home button up and down on the D-pad. So that's like super loud. It's like crackling because it's so loud. But this little thing can put out a lot of sound. We'll turn it down some. Even at 56%, that's still plenty loud. I was playing this game the other day, and it's been years since I've played the original Resident Evil, and I am terrible at it. I think the screen looks great. I really like the things I like about this is I love the backlight. Now, having the lights on the buttons here does drain the battery slightly, a little bit faster, but nothing significant from what I can tell.
I don't know what happened.
The voice acting in this is awful. I love the controls. I really like how this feels. I like the size over the. I think the advantage of this over the Odroid Go Super is the controls are much better. I love the 3.5-inch screen, which is great too. So there's definitely some benefits. The battery life seems to be better than the Odroid Go Super. The rumble features not on the Odroid Super. The built-in Wi-Fi is plus. The things I really don't care for it is be careful with putting the SD card in there. The charging the system has been an issue for me, but again, that's probably my system only. Yeah, it's been forever. Now to exit, you hit home and start twice, or you can set it to do once. And you can see it just loads right away. Really quick. You can jump ahead by hitting change a different, by these buttons here, you can just kind of skip ahead. Different letters, S. So it makes it a lot easier too. Search for games. You can also type in your game by hitting the Y. You can type in and search for your game, which is nice. You can do save. At loading game, hit X, and you can do a save shot and just load your game directly from there. Let's show you what a game looks like with shader. Let me show you. This is Batman Returns for the links. Hit this, home and X. Go down, brings RetroArch. Turn shaders on, we're gonna load. Let's do CRT. Very cool. Let's see what that looks like. It's very subtle. This game is hard. Go back. Do one more. Show you one more. Load. Oh. Shaders. You can add cheats too as well. I don't have any loader right now. Load. Let's go to Kurg. Okay, let's go scan line sneer. Looks different. Anyway, I don't know how you can see it through the camera. Thank you guys for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think. I'll put a link to the GameForce website below. I'll put a link to EmuELEC and their Discord and their Patreon and all that good stuff below as well, so you can kind of stay connected to what they're working on. Nice thing about the GameForce website, they do have a video on how to load EmuELEC on it. They have instructions on how to do that, links and everything you need to know. So they do make it very easy. So do I think it's worth the investment? If you travel a lot, you're on the go, you're looking for a good retro gaming handheld, all in one. The GameForce, to me, I prefer over the Odroid Go Super, although Odroid Go Super, I prefer the size. I think it's actually, I like the build of it. But overall, I think that with giving that, this has a rumble, this is built-in Wi-Fi. It is a little bit more money, but it is coming with the case. So I figured you're paying a little bit more money, but you're getting a case included. I do think it's worth the investment. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate subscribing as always. And as always, game on.